Okay. Check, check. Audio check. Okay. Okay. So first and foremost, yes, we are finally.
Let's go.
Uh, First and foremost, really sorry for the half an hour delay. This is our first live event ever, and unfortunately, we are a set of engineers who do not know how to operate YouTube. So, anyways, we figured it out. My name is Suraj. I'm one of the founders of Kaman.ai, and with me is Rajeeb sir. So, who is one of the co-founder of Kaman, as well as being an avid backer for this entire platform for a long time now. And this is something that we have been building for somewhere around 2 years now.
Yes.
And I think let's start. I don't think we'll be able to keep up with the script that we had, so we'll wing it, and let's go ahead with it.
Oh,
Right?
Suraj, I know 30 minutes late, but guess what? We're here.
Yes.
There you go. So that's the best thing. That's the way to think about it. By the way, I couldn't miss it, right? So I'm so glad to be here with you in Bhubaneswar and on live. And I know you said it's been a long time coming. Finally we're here.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah. Right. So thank you anybody who has joined, has been patient enough to be here for the last 30 minutes. So without any further ado, let's start. So what we are trying to do today is take you guys through this amazing platform that we have built called Kaman.ai. The idea of building this platform was to create a platform on top of which you can actually create agents, AI agents, quickly with fast go to market, with all sort of flexibilities, which would have a data first approach, because garbage in, garbage out, doesn't matter what kind of software you use, right? And needs to be secured. So those were the three pillars on top of which this entire platform was built. And you could do anything that you can think of on top of this. And that's been the guiding principle. And after a lot of trial and error and late nights, we have finally been able to come up with something that we can present, and you guys can try out for us. And hopefully, uh, hopefully we'll be able to showcase some of the use cases that we have built on top of this, so that you understand how you can go ahead and uh, go crazy with your imagination.
Right. And as you said, it's you put your heart and your soul, your I don't want to say blood, but a lot of sweat.
Yeah.
It's been a fun run. Thing is, there's a lot of story behind it, right? So why didn't we just take a pause, give it a little bit about the backstory? How did it all start?
Right. So you remember how it started, right? So we were doing a project actually for Rajeeb sir. So the project demanded a lot of AI implementation into his platform, right? So, and we started building it, and quickly we realized that this is something that can be generated, and we went into that rabbit hole of converting that into a platform. So it started off as something that was able to create agents with all the bells and whistles that you would normally find. But then we soon realized that this is nowhere near enough. If you really want this to work out, you need the data to be the core principle that drives this. And that's where we went in, and we actually from the scratch started building, obviously using a lot of open source libraries and stuff to be able to create a actually scalable AI native data lake, which became the base of this entire platform, right? And on top of that, when you add all the bells and whistles, and then you add channels, which are ability to talk to your agent via any means, it becomes something really flexible. I know this sounds really hunky dory, but I'll show you the demos, and you'll get to know how it is.
I
Right?
mean, one thing I'll tell you is what we started like solving for a particular business, but eventually became a platform. The way I look at it, this should be something that every business, small or medium enterprises, for that matter, large enterprises, let's just speak to SMEs, they should need it. I mean, they can use it, right?
Yeah. So one of the use cases that we'll be showing today, it's a good segue, but it's most of India, or for that matter, a lot of the countries, they run on WhatsApp. Your sales guys, they go out in the field, they send out their messages on WhatsApp. People send their leave applications on WhatsApp. It's a damn good tool when it comes to communication.
Yep.
But organizing it, putting it into your actual systems, being able to search it out is a pain.
Yep.
And a lot of SMEs, they want that flexibility and they do not want to spend that automation to actually convert them or put the data from these WhatsApp groups and take it and put it into their CRMs or their HR system or their sales system, right? One of the use cases that we will be showing today is how you could effectively, take a normal WhatsApp channel or a WhatsApp message, convert that into something that can be directly put into a CRM table, right? And how easy it is to actually build something like that. And it is custom built, so it's not like that we have built something and you are going to use it as is. You can customize it for your own needs, and that's the beauty of this system, right? So why don't we?
So bottom line, just to wrap, kind of before you jump in, there's a lot to be seen there. I mean, the way I look at it, you took an agentic solution and you looked at what people have been using in their daily life. WhatsApp, right? It's everywhere.
Yeah.
So whether you're making a call, whether you're talking to a lead, talking to a prospect, you're collecting data. Thing is, WhatsApp by itself cannot manage all those interactions. It can facilitate the interaction, but truly from a business sense, it's not managing the interaction. So what you have done is you brought in WhatsApp, made it talk to the Kaman.ai platform. Now it's a full-fledged CRM system by itself, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we jump in? Let's start with that as a first demo.
So hopefully you guys can see my screen. So
we got a thumbs up.
Yeah, we got a thumbs up from the guy behind the camera. And let me quickly go into this. So what we have already done is we have created a lot of templates so that you can actually use them, right? So let me quickly go to my resources or to discover templates, and you'll see a lot of these CRMs, right? So there is a WhatsApp CRM agent that is already built. You can actually click on this install and it will work. Because I created it, it don't allow me to install my own template. Right. But and once you install it, it effectively comes in over here. So WhatsApp CRM agent, right? So let me quickly show you what we have done in this, right? So this is how you generally build a agent. In the configuration, you just select the model, the system prompt. You can give it personalities, you can give it examples and stuff. You can define how many iterations it would take. You can allow agentic thinking. You can allow personality to be required. You can do all sort of stuff. You can also give it VM access if needed, not needed for this. And then give it tools access, give it skills, give it knowledge bases, give it example prompts, give it data sources. And this is what we have done. We have actually created a data source and we have added it over here. I'll show you that in a bit. You can do testing or unit tests around it. You can add avatars for it, you can preview and save it. So before I jump into WhatsApp, how do you connect this to WhatsApp? Let me go to Lakehouse. In WhatsApp, what we have done is we have created a table in CRM. In main, I think. Yeah. So we have a table called WhatsApp CRM leads, and this is the table that we'll be using to get the lead data in, right? So let me go back to the agent, and let me connect this now to WhatsApp, right? So in order to connect an agent to WhatsApp, all you need to do is go to a channel, click on add channel, search the particular agent, WhatsApp CRM agent, click on next, go to WhatsApp, give your phone number, give it a name, uh, give your phone number, give a, you can optionally give what numbers are allowed to message to this. If the numbers are something different, it will not allow it altogether. I'm not giving it right now. And click on create channel. Once you do that, you'll see that we'll get a link. And let me quickly open this. And if I go in,
You're sharing your WhatsApp.
yes. And if I go to link a device, enter phone number, and I can actually see the code over here.
This is where the final connection is happening.
Yes. So give it a few seconds. Yes,
No.
it's connected. Now that this is connected, all I need to do is send a message to this and it will just work. So let me quickly go into the data lake so that we can see what is happening. Let me go to another WhatsApp that we have. And say hi. And hope this works.
Sure. It will. Very fun.
Yeah.
Can you say what's going on right now?
Yeah, the agent must have, yeah, the agent has replied. Yeah. So this agent, this number is actually connected to multiple things while we were testing. That's why you see another message. But uh, uh, okay, I might have just triggered a agent war between themselves. Let me quickly delete that channel.
Double subscribed?
Yes. So what happened actually is that one of the numbers from which I was sending a message uh, used it was connected to another agent, and it kind of started talking between themselves with the two WhatsApp numbers. Let me quickly show you what was happening there. So, so after the hi, both the numbers started talking like this, and unluckily, one of those numbers didn't have the credits. So, anyways, let me redo this with a separate number. Come on. So I'm getting the number of one of my colleagues over here to set up the same thing. Number 99380
69677.
and let's go. So the code is 25DGXANT. 25DG. Just so that you know it's getting connected. Yeah, got connected. Now let me go back over here. Um, ତମ number ଟା normal 677 last. Right. So now they started working. So I said hi. It just said that give can log the visit for you. Please send a short update with these details. So I am just sending client is Yokota Technologies phone um, um, Monday. So here is what I sent: a very short and crisp message. Client is Yokota Technologies. Phone number is this. Company is this. Status was visited, and they asked me to visit again on Monday. And what this will now do is effectively go in, and the agent is working behind the scene to actually take that information and put it into the database. And this database is something, again, it's very cool. It's actually a data lake, so it can scale to petabytes, but give you transactional abilities. So once that happens, it will come back in a bit. While that is happening,
And we can show that in the data, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes. You should be able to show that in the data. It will also give me a notification that that has happened.
Good.
Right. So the notification has come in. It should show up in the WhatsApp in a bit.
So this is no coming back to office and opening your laptop and then feeding the data in. This is literally when
Yes.
you had a conversation with your client.
Yes.
And you just want to log in.
Yes. So the idea is that you take your WhatsApp groups, connect give it and give your agent an actual number,
Okay.
and that number is with that agent who is part of that group now. So anytime somebody sends a message, it knows, it takes that information. If it is needed, it will take it and push it to the
Okay.
CRM. Right?
Bottom line, your boss is not chasing you for the status.
Yes. Plus, your boss is getting the right kind of information
On the right
over a
time.
period of time, and that's very, very important.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So while that happens, let us quickly go back to the agent. Check what table was selected. So WhatsApp CRM leads, it was the table. It's not yet happened. I just quickly had to remove all the linked devices to one of my WhatsApp bots, which was chasing behind the same agent. So let's give it a face. I just sent that message again. There's a loop that was killing everything.
Did you submit it? You mean?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. This is what happens when you go into a demo.
That's okay.
Just clear everything. So while that's happening, let's let me let me showcase the same thing via Telegram. Right? It's
Okay.
not just
Yeah.
WhatsApp.
So if you jump in, why Telegram?
But so Telegram is
I mean, I know you're very passionate about Telegram.
no, sure.
I'm just
So
curious. Why Telegram?
WhatsApp is good, but
Yeah.
actually connecting to WhatsApp on an enterprise scale, you actually have to pay. Whereas Telegram is free,
Okay.
right? It's something that is as good as WhatsApp in a lot of sense. It's a bit crowded, yes, but that's fine. As long as you keep your groups
Okay.
clean,
Absolutely.
it should be fine, right? So what I'll do is I'll just go to the same agent and now add a Telegram channel over here. So in order to do that, all I need to do is go to Telegram bot, click on next, give it a name. Let's say, and what you need to do is basically, I'm not going to share this, but share the screen of this. But all you need to do is go to Telegram, and the steps of doing this is straight up written over here. So all you need to do is go to Telegram, and there is a bot father, which is a bot that can help you create new bots. So I'm giving it a name called CRM Kaman.ai. bot and once I do that, I'll get a token. Now, all I need to do is effectively put that token over here. So 853, let me share it so that I can copy this. So you'll get something like this. Copy the token, and obviously after this, we'll remove this, and then again just create the channel. It'll take a few seconds and done. And all I need to do now is go to my phone, go to that bot, and start. Let me share my screen and say hi. I'll copy this message. So here is what the agent replied back with. I'm going to send the same message over there. Let's see what happens. Also, while it is doing that, one of the reasons why we went with uh, Telegram is it's not just Telegram that we went with, right? So the idea is that you create one channel or one agent, then give it multiple channels, right? And that includes things like Telegram, things like WhatsApp, also Slack,
Yep.
email.
Yep.
So as you'll see over here, when you create a new, you know, channel type, you have multiple things, you know, Gmail channel, Twilio channel, Slack channel, email channels, and so on and so forth, right? And while that is happening, also something that is very important for when people do this is how to debug this out, right? How do you find out what is going wrong? So as you know,
Where things are going wrong.
yes, right? And for that, again, that's the beauty of this, that I can go to the agent, click over here, go to histories, and I can actually see what is. Oh, okay. So it has actually replied back. Let me go and see. Oh, yes. So new lead created for your product technologies, and these are the data. And let's see whether the data got inserted or not. So if I go to WhatsApp, here, sorry, main, table, and yeah, so you'll see the data is actually over here.
In the CRM table, it's already there.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
So, and it's not just that much. You can actually go to the agent itself again, right? And you can ask it other questions. So, for example, let's just ask it how many leads do we have? You can do the same thing on WhatsApp,
WhatsApp also.
right? And you can define users, make sure that only specific users get access to specific things. And all those facilities are also available inside.
And those permissions are managed at the agent level.
Yes.
Okay.
So those permissions are managed at the agent as well as on the channel level.
Okay, so for me, for instance, I want if I fed some leads, I don't want Suraj is a competitor of me. We're in the same sales team. I don't want Suraj to see it, so I can set that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Here is how fast it is. It comes back. We currently have one lead. If you want, I can break down by salesperson. Let me just reply back, sure, and it will just do that.
Good.
Right. So what it allows you to do is effectively you create this bot and give it to 5 different people or 20 of your sales rep who are going around, and they use this. You have a think of it this way: you have an office assistant of sort who is actually uh, genuinely sincere, getting messages on WhatsApp,
Right.
and real time putting it into the CRM.
Okay.
Right.
Basically, you replicated 3 people's job into just one damn agent.
Yes, and no Salesforce, no offense to them.
Yeah.
Right?
I was
No,
about to say that. No HubSpot.
no HubSpot, nothing, right? And it's that easy to do,
I
right?
mean, in a way, I know it sounds a bit disruptive. The reality is having this agent, everyone has a phone on in their pocket with WhatsApp on it or Telegram on it, etc. Practically, you can eliminate certain amount of cost if you're a small and medium enterprise where you don't have to pay that expensive SaaS fee
No,
of using those applications. You
Yeah.
could practically be managing it. By the way, we're not suggesting don't go with Salesforce, don't go with HubSpot.
no.
The
So
reality
they
is
have,
you have something here that works for you. You can keep going.
and it's okay. So you still need the Salesforce and the
Absolutely. So that's
HubSpots
why I
of the
said-
world, right? But the great part about this is it can connect to them. It doesn't
Even-
need to,
yeah.
right? So as we were creating the agent, you would have seen the tools section, right? In
Yep.
the tools section, you can just create a tool to connect to Salesforce and give it access to that, and that's that.
Right.
We actually have built-in MCPs that can actually do that
Yeah.
within the platform,
Right.
right? So you use that, give the authentication to your Salesforce side. So instead of putting that data into a KDL table, you put it into Salesforce or do a dual write. Right. Put one over here and one over there, so that you can run large analytics on top of this very quickly. Whereas you are still maintaining your data over there, right?
Right.
So it's again limited by your imagination and your use case. And what we're trying to showcase is how easy and quick is it to do something that is
Absolutely. This
useful.
is super exciting. So here's one thing I want to hear your voice about. A lot of things that you show is sitting on massive amount of technology work that you have done. But then end of the day, if I'm a consumer of this, I don't necessarily have to be a techie. I can do a lot without coding anything, without
You don't
building-
have to code a single bit. That's the beauty of this, right? So let me put it in a different way, right? Recently, you would have seen in the last 3-4 weeks there have been a lot of talk about
Right.
OpenClaw, which is a Tambo tool, that
Yeah.
right, and it got acquired by OpenAI recently also, right? So that's also a very good news, right? So, but the thing is, it was effectively this, but done in a manner so that the agent has access to everything, right? Which was, I think, done in a spirit of finding out what the agent can do. It was not done for actual enterprise use cases or small, medium scaling users, daily use case catering with, right? The reason for that is that that was that is the idea behind that was that it was supposed to run for 24 hours and then do something for someone without even worrying about the
What it
actual
takes to do.
security and everything about it, right?
Right.
What we have done is we have spent literally months to make sure things are secure and scalable and cloud based.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
If somebody is running a small SME somewhere, he doesn't have the time to actually buy a Mac Mini and set everything up
Exactly.
right there, right? And make sure that is up and running.
Right.
And we are talking about India. What happens when the power goes out?
Yeah.
Right? What happens when the internet goes out? Right? So the idea of this was where this actually comes in is if you really want to be able to do what you can do on open cloud,
Right.
without having to worry about the technology aspect of it, without having to worry about creating your own infrastructure, setting up everything, doing all sort of other things, getting your own API keys from Claude and Anthropic, and then connecting them and do whatever is needed for that, and then giving it a soul and whatnot. Just go over here and do that, right? So Yeah, that's the overall idea.
So just a yes or no answer. If I never went to engineering school, I don't know how to write code, but I love the idea of what you're telling me that I can create my own agent, my own assistant. I can go
You
into
know the answer to this. You have done multiple agents on your own, right?
I'm representing people who don't write code every day. I want to make sure, and a lot of them are watching, right? I want to make sure that they know they can go here and play with it and build something their own without spending a single penny on having an engineer do things. No offense to engineers, but then they have to keep doing their thing. But this is done for business people as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So, okay, let me now showcase another use case, right? We had because of the delays and everything.
Keep going.
What I'll do is I'll skip a couple of the use cases that we thought of, which were all around the same kind of stuff, wherein we can connect this to a channel, get the data in, put it into KDL, connect it to some other place, and then do your stuff around it, right? Instead of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show something that is even more cooler, which is what if you wanted to create a video on top of this?
Okay.
Okay.
That's Big Bang.
Yes. So now, obviously, there is a lot of video models available in the market, right?
Yeah.
Most of them build out videos, which is a different kind of video, right? They are actually creating a video, which is generally 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds long,
Right.
with really good audio. Nowadays, the video creation platforms have become really, really good. But in general, the most videos that we create as a SME, right, is not that kind of videos. These are videos which are more marketing, with a little bit of animation, more like a slideshow, those kind of stuff, right? So let me quickly go to an agent that we have built called Video Generator. So here is what I have. So this is a chat that I have already done. So in the interest of time, I'll just showcase this, but we can do the same thing over here. So this is the video generator.
So it's just instructing about a particular video that you want to generate, and you're giving the background.
Yes.
Okay.
And it went in to create a whole set of stuff with 15 seconds thing.
Sorry, how long did it take?
It took around 20 minutes.
Okay.
Also.
But in a traditional way, someone is kind of creating a video, editing a video, takes days.
And I want to show you the quality of the video that we got out of this.
So this is start to finish 20 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
And this was for
this is about Kaman.
Yes. And there is a MP4 version of the same thing available as well. And I can download that, and we can play it over here.
So you can download it.
Yes.
And then you can share it. You can put it in your own server. You can publish it on your site, anything. Okay.
Yes. And the cool part about this is this video was not generated using some third-party tool, right? This was coded out by the agent on a VM.
Okay.
Let me show you what has happened inside this, right? And this might be a little bit techy, but people need to understand that. Right? So it actually used a lot of command line tools like FFmpeg and searches to assemble the video on the fly inside a VM that got procured on the fly. The commands executed over there, and the overall video got generated using that, right? And the way this was, so it's not like it took me hours to create this agent. It took me literally 5 minutes to create this agent.
Right. That's the game changer there.
Yeah. So you want to try out something like this, all you need to do is go to create the agent builder, right? Give it a basic information. In the system prompt, just say that you are a video generator, use FFmpeg commands directly, and a few more things, and give it a VM with a higher memory limit, right? We have limited things to 512, 725.
What about the models behind it? Like, do you have flexibility to choosing?
Yes.
model
So
versus
for
another?
this, we are using Sonnet 4.6, but you
Okay.
can choose anything you want.
Okay.
And for FFMG command, this is actually a bit of overkill. You could do this with something like a Haiku or even ChatGPT 5, GPT-5 Mini would probably work this out.
Okay.
Right?
And then I see something called thinking mode. Just quickly describe what that is.
So the agent thinking mode effectively is a additional thinking that we add into the overall agent lifecycle. What happens there is that the agent keeps on evaluating itself over and over again in the loop. If you disable that, what happens is things becomes a bit more faster, but there is no more evaluation happening. We recommend this to be there wherever the uh, task that is going to do is going to be a little bit more complex, like this. But for the WhatsApp agent, for that example, we disabled this because it doesn't really need that.
There's not a lot of thinking required.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
So this is, if I kind of put it in layman's language, the way I understand, this is your having the agent self-critique its own work.
Yes.
And make sure that what it's doing is of quality, and then the result is of high confidence.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Plus, there is one more extremely important thing over here. You don't need to use VMs that we provide. You can procure your own VMs. And the way to do that is just click on this, allow personal VMs. And in the settings, there is something called as personal VMs, where you can register a VM, give it a name, and it will give you a command. Just take this and run it on your system. And that's that. The VM gets connected, and everything now you run on that agent doesn't need procure a VM in a cloud. It connects to your system, right? Which is again a game changer for a lot of people who are especially worried about privacy and worried, or for that matter, want to do something more complex, because we have limitations in terms of how much in terms of VM we can provide. But if you want to do like a graphics card related work, and you have the graphics card system sitting somewhere, just run this over there, connect it over here,
Right.
and it works.
Perfect.
Right.
And that's for the high end stuff. So one thing I'm itching to ask you, right? So within the last 30 minutes or so, we talked about on the boots on ground salesperson managing their life cycle, CRM, all the way to very smart marketer creating videos for their PR events or surveys or whatnot. One thing though, in a business context, given everything else happens from scams and phishing, etc., data needs to be secure.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something we cannot compromise.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the security aspect of Kaman.
So Kaman is an end-to-end encrypted system.
Okay.
All the data that is stored is encrypted. All the connections in between are encrypted, and they run inside a VM, a VPN system, right? Which makes sure that no external agencies can effectively connect to it, right? Apart from that, there is a huge amount of work that has gone into making sure access control is paramount in this, right? So when you talk about security, there are two types of security. One is the cybersecurity aspect of it, wherein you are talking about port opening, encryption, making sure there are no vulnerabilities and all those things. That is something that we do on a day-to-day basis on the Kaman infrastructure over and over again, and then that you know of, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's why we have been doing things with enterprise first and then going out for a service, right? Having said that, the other side of it is access control. Now, in terms of access control, we have, and you know this very well, that it has some really, really granular access control mechanisms available in the system.
Right. Right.
So, just to give you an idea of how granular we are talking about, in any database or any table that you have added, you want, let's say, to give it access to only specific set of rows, or mask out PII information and those kind of stuff, right? All you need to do is when you're configuring your table, and this is something that you can do with the agent as well, is go into access, add a new policy, give it a row filter.
So policies are basically your rules.
Yes. And you can set policies like row filters, you can set policies like column masks,
Right.
and then give it access to specific roles based on specific where clause or SQL statement where clauses, and you can configure this. And this is where
conditions.
Yes, and we actually do provide consulting services around this if you really want to set it up to
Certainly.
hire
Yeah.
people,
Yep.
right? So once you set this up, the policies that are applied on this are very stringent. So let's say there is a database with the same database, CRM leads. What I want to do is I want to make sure that only people with the right phone number, or I can access only my leads, nobody else's lead. Right? So in order for that to work, all you need to do is go to this. There is a verification mechanism over here.
Yeah.
You click on that, start verification. It will take you to a bot on Telegram. You just click on share my number and done. Your phone number is verified. Now, once this is verified, I can use that information in the lake. Go to the access control piece, new policy, and set it over here. Use it. So let me quickly see the phone number. Okay. So the phone number field, let's say, and once you set this policy up, only the phone number that is visible to me will be visible over here, right? And that's the approach that you can take on your data security point of view.
So just a slightly tangential thought on this. You showed data security on a very structured set of information. It's stored in a table. We can choose every field and then put a security angle on it. But in real life, when you're if I'm a salesperson, I'm writing contracts or I'm getting contracts from my customers, etc.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of sensitive information in that. And that's a very unstructured data. It's like PDFs or Word documents or Excel spreadsheets, etc. How does security work?
Right. So, okay. First and foremost, whenever you use any kind of agent, right? Let me show you some simple agent. And let's say hi. You'll see in the agent response, let's give it a few seconds.
Responding.
You'll see there is an input safe check over here.
Okay.
So what we have done is we have used guardrails models with a lot of regex-based rules and a few other proprietary things that we have built around it to actually mask out any PII information before even it is sent to the large language model.
Redacting.
Not exactly. So if you just redact something, the LLM will start hallucinating. That is something that we know.
Okay.
Right. So what we have done is we have done certain specific things around it that allows it to still have context, but it doesn't know the actual data behind it.
Okay.
And that is smart replacing of stuff that happens behind the scenes so that your actual data is proper when it comes back to you. So there is a whole lot that has gone into it.
But then there is a provision there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And which is inbuilt into the system. That is not even configurable. That is a given whenever you are working with command.
I mean, again, the reason I'm asking, when you start moving up the enterprise tiers, right? So security and data privacy and data access can go 10x in terms of complexity.
So,
all right. So I know we have touched on quite a few topics. Any other rabbit that you want to pull from the hat?
No. So there are quite a few other demos that we can go through. So, let us know if there is any questions in the group. Okay. So, yeah. So there is another demo that I wanted to showcase is sentiment analysis.
Okay.
Right. So again, PR is a nightmare for a lot of people, right? And people spend a huge amount of money to make sure or keep track of PR related things, right? And this is something that is edging towards it, but you'll get an idea of it. So what we have done is we have created something called a sentiment analysis in terms of an agent, right? And we have created a workflow that allows you to do a lot of those kind of stuff around this, right? So what we did was we created a search company workflow, right, which effectively is this workflow. The workflow effectively takes an input as a name of a company, does an internet search on top of it, then evaluates it, and then puts the data into KDL with a lot of semantic analysis done on top of it. Let me show you how that data looks so that you'll get an idea of what we are talking about. So this is typically how that data will look like. You'll have a URL, a company ticker, news text, sentiments, whether it is a long, short impact, the confidence score of it, what is the title around it, and so on and so forth, right? And you have all that information available in this. Now, based on this workflow, what we did was we also created an agent that you can talk to, right? So here is an agent. You can go to this and we can ask this question. Let me just copy this. And let's ask, tell me the recent sentiments, and my spellings are bad. So on Amazon, right? So what this will effectively do now is go in, find out whether it has data on Amazon in its database. If it doesn't, it will trigger that workflow to bring in the latest information from the internet, store it over there so it can be indexed and then referred to over and over again, so that you don't have to do this multiple times. And then we'll give you a detailed understanding of what's the situation with Amazon right now.
Okay.
Right.
Awesome.
So let's hope this works.
So why this is working, right? So again, someone could look at it saying that, you know what, I've done this in ChatGPT. So
Yeah.
what's new here? Like,
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Why is this any different?
You do this on ChatGPT, keep your session, how many times you can use it. What we are doing over here is actually storing that information for you to refer over a period of years together.
Okay. So
when you want a PR system to really work out, you want the data to be persistent. You want it in a system. You want to be able to connect this to your existing applications.
Right.
You want this to be automated. Right. All those things, again, OpenAI, ChatGPT is the tool that set this revolution on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is a whole lot that needs to be done around something like, not even ChatGPT. ChatGPT directly cannot be used for it because it is not meant for it, right? With the APIs that they provide, right, there is a whole lot that needs to be done in terms of programs to be able to actually automate your system and work it out.
Make it useful for your business.
Whereas with this, it becomes so easy. And while this is happening, let me show you something for specifically developers, right? Let me go to docs. So there is a command docs section over here. Anything that you can see over here, you can actually work out using APIs. And we have API references.
And how do people access this?
All you need to do is come in, register, create an API key, right? Once you've created an API key, that's it. You just use that API key to access the APIs. We also have SDKs created, which is available in Python, Rust, as well as Node.js that you can directly use. We're also working on a C SDK for people who are interested to use Kaman on IoT devices like Audrey. And that's something that I'm tinkering around on the sides.
Right.
So here is what it did. And
so one other one is still running, right? So you talked about storage. I mean, keeping data persistent and being accessible and making it contextual for your own business. is there a particular methodology or something that Kaman does in terms of how it does, somewhat unique, that if you walk into a standard LLM like standard chatbot like ChatGPT or Claude, etc., you won't get it?
And then there is a whole lot around that, right? So
Throw the top three that comes to your mind.
So first and foremost, Kaman doesn't give up. Okay. On what? Let me explain what I mean by that. Right. So you can restrict it to use a certain set of tools,
Right.
but in general, Kaman has access to all tools. Now, when I say that, we have what, somewhere around, last I counted, more than 15,000 tools in the system.
Okay.
It's not like it has access to all the 15,000 tools, right? Well,
But it
theoretically
knows
does.
about the 50,000.
Yes, so it has the ability to very easily, quickly, and selectively find out the right tool for the right job at the right moment, so that your overall tool usage is low. And how low, you might ask, is the token usage that we are seeing is so low. You know, when you compare it to any other agentic solution, where in a normal agentic solution would take somewhere around 80, 90 or 100,000 tokens sometimes in a single loop. Kaman restricts itself to less than 10,000, which basically means that your overall usage in terms of cost is very, very low and usable, right? The second most important thing is flexibility in terms of model usage. What this allows you to do is effectively connect any model around the world that you have and use it directly in the system. And the way to do that is also very straightforward. All you need to do is go to settings. There is a model over here. We do provide quite a few of those, but if you want something of your own, select the provider, give the display name, give the model name, give the model ID API key details,
Right.
and create a model. And you can directly now use your own models, and you don't charge for that. You know, A, you get access to a lot of models on the system directly. B, you have the flexibility to bring your own models. A, you have the ability to use VMs in the system. B, you have the ability to bring your own VM.
Right.
A, you have the ability, and you'll see a pattern in this, right? You have the ability to use Kai, which is our
Chatbot.
which is our default chatbot for
Yep.
everything, or bring your own agents. Right. And there is something that we are working on right now. By the way, all the agents that we have are A2A compatible, which basically means it can be directly used anything that supports A2A protocol. What we are working on is the ability to bring in other A2A compatible agents directly into Kaman, so that Kaman can actually interact with them, right? And this is not a single agent system. This is a multi-agent system, right? So it has the ability to create sub-agents. It also has the ability to create a thread of other agents which is available within your system, right? And that's what that flexibility is, I think, is lacking in a lot of sense, right? And obviously there are things which we talked about in terms of security and scalability, and that's something that again is there are tools which are very flexible, not scalable. There are tools which are very secure, not flexible. Getting the right balance of all three was crucial for us,
Right.
And I think that's what makes Kaman such a formidable tool in the repository of somebody who wants to use AI but doesn't want to go into the depths of it, into the
Learning and building. And
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, it's a pre-built. So maybe if I mean my own way, if I can summarize. So I asked you the questions about what are the differences, right? Data is a big difference, if I understand correctly, right?
Yeah.
But more than data, the whole aspect of flexibility of having your playground and then trying to mold things. And if you're a Lego player, you relate to it. Like you can create infinite structures with Lego, right? So that's something similar here,
Yeah.
right? So flexibility is a key thing. And then the last but not least is in a world when the whole AI framework is evolving practically every day, every hour. Time to market is a critical thing.
Yeah.
How soon I can produce something, how soon I can test something, how soon I can showcase to someone that I'm selling an idea. So for that, you need a sandbox, actual production ready sandbox or live sandbox, well, you can build something.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because a lot of systems that allow you to build things using some kind of a sandbox solution, are way too technical. But the second important thing is there is no feedback. And that's something that a lot of people face challenge when they are using an agent.
Okay.
And that's where what we have over here is a observatory system, right? So in an observatory, what we do provide is quality metrics of each agent over a period of time.
So I know how my agent is performing.
Yes, not just that, you also know where it failed. So for example, this one was a bit low, and you can see the evaluator reason, what the user messages were over a period of time, and why this was considered a bad request.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And similar things happens. And again, this is the overall theme of this entire thing. If somebody is installing in an enterprise setting, they get access to the actual logs, which is categorized and working out. We actually do have an alert system that alerts us whenever something goes wrong within the platform. So there is a whole lot in terms of stability and logs management and agent capability understanding that we have built around this.
Right.
In observatory, there is also things like average response time of an agent over a period of time, right? What kind of conversations are there? You can also set up your alerts rules so that if something goes wrong, you can actually get an alert based on that, right?
Good.
So there is a whole lot built into the observatory that if you play around, you can actually build a feedback loop to your own agent, making your agent over and over again. There is one more thing that we have added to the agents, and this is comparatively recent, and we saw really good benefits out of it. So what we have done is we have created the agent in a manner that it can update it to its own skill. What I mean by that is, if something goes wrong in an agent, it now stores that information in a secured manner, which is searchable, not just a MD file, right? Uh, uh, so that it can refer back to that in a concise manner without bloating up its context, so that it doesn't do that mistake again. And this goes cross border for that agent. In order to achieve that, we had to make sure the data which is getting stored doesn't have any personal information, any factual information, any numbers, any of those things. It just have little nudges that goes in as a skill in a way into the agent to nudge it in the right direction. For example, if let's say it fired a query on a database which had a certain syntactical mistake, next time it will avoid that, because it now knows that syntax doesn't work.
Continuous learning process.
Yes, and that in a way I think is the future of agentic solutions. Instead of thinking of large language models becoming self-evolving, you need to think of systems that can add that context back to the agent, and then over a period modify the large language model with these data collected, so that the model don't
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's more to this.
Yeah.
I think I know a lot of people are watching, and I hope this is resonating. To me, the best thing is this is built for solo entrepreneurs or those idea owners or builders, etc. They don't have to have a strong AI background to go build it, but then they have something they can literally start talking to it, and then it builds for you.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I mean, we need those engineering gurus and then tech gurus who are constantly trying to evolve things, and they also need a system that challenges them, and they are also kind of leveraging it that way. So they can build a lot more complex systems even without going to 5 different places.
Yeah.
All the bells and whistles are available there. So kind of caters to both sides of the forum.
Yeah.
It's true?
Yeah. Okay. So I think one last thing that I would like to showcase over here is a restaurant agent.
You talked about it to me, but yeah, I'm curious.
So what we have done is added something called as a knowledge base over here, right? So what this agent does is kind of similar to the other WhatsApp bots that we saw, but this has a knowledge base attached to it. And the way you create a knowledge base is effectively just give it a name and upload a bunch of files to it.
Okay.
And the rest of it is taken care of by the system. By the way, there is a huge amount of engineering work that has gone into managing memory for you. And when we say memory for command, it's not just memory to understand the user. It's memory to understand the user and link the user to data in KDL, data in the files that they have uploaded, the overall universe, which is again a fascinating topic on its own, right? But once you go into something like a restaurant agent, again, you can connect this to a WhatsApp channel or a Telegram channel if you wanted to. And if you type this, show me today's menu. And here, it comes back with the response this quick. Namaste Suraj, pastry menu restaurant, veg delights. These are the veg, chicken, Chinese, soup, starter, and this. Okay.
This is me. I could potentially through my WhatsApp and
Yes.
particular restaurant know what's there in that menu.
Yes. Not just that. You can ask it to, okay, how about you create a 3-course chicken non-veg
And it has the context
meal
starts spreading.
for a friend of mine who is from France, coming to visit us for dinner. And this has been a huge challenge for a lot of people. Anybody who has gone into a restaurant to order, you don't have to do that anymore. You can. So here, starter chicken Manchurian, butter chicken, gulab jamun with ice cream. Okay. Next steps. What do you think? Any spice preference? Butter chicken. Would you like sides on the plain naan or roti? It actually acts like a server, right? And the speed at which this delivers, it's just amazing.
So for the food delivery services, would love to have this.
Yeah. You link this to something like a Zomato,
right?
Somebody goes in there and asks that instead of browsing through 20 different menus, I go in there and say that, okay, I'm hungry, have not had my breakfast, going for lunch directly. It's already 3 o'clock. Today is Thursday. I'm not having non-veg. Get me something really quick.
Boom.
Right? And that would be great.
Yeah.
And good thing that you brought this up, right? Because one of the key things when we are building Kaman is that we have the ability to actually integrate everything that you see over this into an application on the client side. Right? And you know better than most how this works out. Right? So the same chatbot that you see over here is actually available as an application, right?
I mean, with a instead of a chatbot UI, you have your own kind of traditional UI.
Yes. So let me show you something on NPM. There are quite a few of these models that are packages that we have added. One of them is Yokoda Chatbot, which is the NPM library that can be directly integrated to any React application somebody is building,
right?
Or for that matter, an HTML library somebody is building. Right. We have something called as Command Connector, which is an SDK built on Node.js that allows you to connect to Command using predefined functions. Then we have a gateway client, which is again effectively a mechanism for you to connect any data source that you have on your local network or local device to Command data sources or KDL directly, which is how we are able to connect something like Tally, which runs on local systems.
Right.
Using a single command, you run that on your system. Now that system now connects to Command directly. So anytime there is an insert in your Tally record, the data goes to the KDL. Now you have an agent associated with it, and you can ask questions about it, right? And there are quite a few other things.
Right.
Now the VM agent is the one that is used to connect VMs directly to Kaman as well. So there is a lot in terms of that connectivity that we have built that basically allows you to integrate Kaman into your existing application so that it becomes seamless. And maybe we can show something around that. So this is a actual client's UAT environment, right? And they have integrated Kaman quite a few places. One of them is this.
So they call it conversational AI, which is basically they're having dialogue with their own information.
Yes. So I'm just going back to one of those histories. I don't know what this is, but okay. Can you show a breakdown of the last year order volume? And it just goes in and does that for them. And here you have all the information that is needed, right? And we can try this. Hopefully.
In the traditional world, it's basically you're going through dashboards after dashboard and then looking into Excel spreadsheets versus you're just having a conversation at the spot.
Yes. And it actually seamlessly integrates within their own UI, as you will see, which effectively allows you to bring command directly to your applications without even worrying about to write any line of code in terms of agent creation, in terms of usage, in terms of everything. Right. And we keep on updating, so you get updated over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I always say this, right? So the industry has been inundated with the dashboards. Like there's dashboard for this, dashboard for that, but there is always there is one question that comes up. None of the dashboards can answer. So if I'm on a flight, I have my access to my Wi-Fi. I just need the data. I have no time to call my assistant or call my salesperson to give me the information. I should be asking this question and then getting the information on the fingertip. Right? Is that a good way to think about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So while that is working out, you can see the plans also. It does plan it out and it will strike everything out based on your need.
Right. So one thing, I'm watching the clock, Suraj. I know we are way over time and we had a little bit of challenge starting at the beginning. Why not wrap up? Let's talk about, okay. I mean, the one thing I would say that I thought I knew a lot about Kaman working with you for the last several years, but then I'm learning a lot while I'm just listening to you. So it's my head goes towards people who are watching this, and the way I would think about, if you are a startup founder, if you are a solo entrepreneur, if you have ideas that you really want to take to market, this is something perfect for you, right?
Yeah,
go play with it.
Here is how you can start. I'll just generally show you.
So how do they get started?
Just go into Kaman.ai. You land up somewhere like this. Click on this and it will ask you to create an account.
Okay.
Go to create an account. You don't even have to fill this up. If you want, you can use Google or GitHub to connect.
Yep.
Let me quickly do that from my Gmail. And you land up over here and just start asking questions.
Right.
How
do you pay for this?
Yeah. So
sure, there is a lot you can provide.
Let me create a new account because that was already paid for.
Yeah.
Let me create a new account.
And by the way, just
and it will ask you an organization name. Just
this is important if you're in a business. And it could be anything. Like you can be saying that this is my personal thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. And you go in there and say hi, and it'll ask you for a credit. Okay. You go to purchase.
And so while you're doing that, this is something you can start very little, and then you don't have to buy a big multi-month, multi-year SaaS license.
Nothing like that. Okay. All you need to do is there is a minimum of $5 in terms of credit.
Correct.
You buy $5, that credit goes in to your account and you start using it. So try it out.
Right. And what happens when the $5 is over and then
it will ask you for more credit.
So
obviously,
so it's pay as you go.
Yes. And the best part is it's very transparent. So there is a billing and usage dashboard that will tell exactly where everything has been spent. So
you can ration. So
yes.
And you can also say that, okay, I'm doing quite a few within a $5 budget. What if I buy $10 and then probably I can do more?
Yes.
Okay.
And you also have a usage dashboard over here that will
Yeah.
tell you in terms of recent usages and your overall interactions.
So there's a lot we talked about. There's a lot you talked about. A lot. How do people? So Kaman.ai, that's the easy way to find about Kaman and then know more about it, play with it, etc. But if they have questions, if they need to actually even ask you questions, do you have a Twitter handle?
Yes, my Twitter handle is at the rate Surajbhapi, SURAJBAPI.
Okay.
DM me there. I'll be available. You can also send me messages on LinkedIn. You can reach out to me via email on surajbhan.satpathy@yogtata.com.
Okay.
We can put it into the description of the video. And yeah, just reach out in any case if something goes wrong.
I
Or
mean,
if you
I
have any
would
questions.
highly, highly, highly encourage people just play with it. Try to break it.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the best thing you could do is do us a favor, break it, and then ask us questions.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Right. I hope breaking it would be tough, but yeah, often.
That's a good one for people. And then people who are non-technical in business. As I said, my personal experience, this has been my backbone, how I built the business. So take the chance,
Yeah.
build something.
So I hear that we have questions.
Okay.
Right. So
who is this coming from?
let me go through one by one. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Please share any documentation if available. So all the docs for Kaman is available at Kaman.ai/docs, and you can go through the documentation. It's quite detailed in terms of how to use it, in terms of the use cases that we have thought of, in terms of API references and everything.
Can someone put it on the chat itself, just so that we?
Sorry.
Now, can someone put it on the conversations? Just the link.
Yeah. So agentic platform would make life simpler for enterprises. Yes, absolutely. That's the overall idea, and it's not just for enterprises. I really think that small startups really need this, because I have run startup virtually for a decade now. One of the biggest problem with startups is that they have zero clue of what is happening in their startup.
Right.
And the reason behind that is they don't have the money or the bandwidth to actually put in the right kind of infrastructure to go through everything. And that is exactly why we went through the hassle of showcasing the ability to use WhatsApp as a channel to connect to the agent.
It can be immensely creative.
Yeah. So if you think about any software, it's data, process, and communication, the UX.
Right.
So if your UX is WhatsApp, your process is the agent, and your data lake is the persistence layer, you have everything that you need to create any application you can think of on this.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, there is one really good question. How is Kaman.ai different from Clawbot? Clawbot or OpenClaw, as it is renamed now. Again, it's a damn good tool, but as I was saying, it's something that is created, or that was created with the notion that what happens when an agent gets full access to you, and how much it can extend itself to do things. And there were some really good outcomes around it, right? But security was an afterthought. Scalability was an afterthought. It was meant to be personal for you. So it's a different use case.
This is Clawbot.
This is Clawbot, yeah, right? So the OpenClaw. Whereas Kaman is a different use case. Kaman, we are talking about we taking care of the infrastructure, the technology, the nitty-gritties around it, whereas you taking care of your use case alone. So you come in, register, create your use case using plain English, connect it to your WhatsApp channel or Telegram channel or whatever channel that you want to connect it to your database or KDL, connect that agent to your applications if you want to, use an API to connect to the same thing, and then start using it.
Yeah.
And that opens everything up. You can connect again to, again, having said that, everything that you can do on CloudBot, you can actually do on Kaman as well, because it has access to VM. It has access to your top level models in Claude and OpenAI and all those things. You can run the exact same use cases on this without having to worry about all the infrastructure overheads. You can run it on our VM. You can also connect your own VM. But again, it is secured. Why it is secured? Because it doesn't have access to everything that you have on that VM. It has access to things that you give access to, right? And that's where things are different. It's actually very interesting because if I were to think of Kaman, it's if CloudBot was the POC, Kaman is the production. That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
Right?
That's a great answer.
So, I think those are the questions. It's nearly ending our time. We should think of wrapping it up. We have already crossed our timelines. We started off late.
Think about coming back in a month or so, do another event.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, because the platform is evolving every day and then there's a lot more functionality you're adding as we speak. It's worth having this dialogue keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. We will do that. We'll keep on doing this. We'll have most likely have monthly events on top of this. Get more people involved, create a community around it, and hopefully people try it. Let us know if anything goes wrong.
I think
that's the overall idea. Yeah.
As I said, for my business friends, try it. Give it a try, and without trying, you're never going to know what you're missing. Just try it. My technology friends, try it. Try to break it. That's one challenge I would like to put it out there, because Suraj is immensely capable of addressing questions, and if something we don't know, that's great. That's a feedback for us.
One thing, if you can break it, that actually is good, because rather than finding something that can break the system while it is in production and doing something productive, if somebody finds it beforehand,
that's great.
That's the best thing that can happen to the system. Yeah.
Awesome. So that's a wrap?
Yeah, I think that's that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.